Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of A Potent Dose of Three. This is Linda.
I'm Kathy.
And I'm Jasmine, and we're here to bring you your weekly dose.
That dose. We're here to bring you a
dose. Dose.
We're losers. We're nerds. And we're here to bring you that dose. We're so corny. That's why we're friends. See, honestly, you can tell because I started acting a fool, and my girl Jasmine came and acted fool right with me. But Kathy over here,
she's like,
just looked at us and started laughing
because they're funny.
She didn't.
That's literally what my boyfriend would be like. Oh, it's because you're funny. I'm like, you're not laughing with me. You're laughing at me.
Pretty much,
and that's why I'm here.
Pretty much, yeah. No, even not. She doesn't. She's not here for the foolery, honestly. So this week, what are we doing?
So should we just talk about our support system? Since this week, I feel like everybody is like having a lot of.
We got a lot going on. I feel like
a lot going on.
There's a lot of things going on right now. So what do we have going on?
Life.
So I have school going on. I have a trip going on. I have my son's birthday coming up, and I'm planning a party. So I'm planning a trip, and then I'm planning
school party. Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So I'm planning a lot of things.
I'm a little happy. That's more because she said trips and it's like echoing in my ear. Because
echoing our ear because I'm going on a trip
too. We all. Okay, so when this episode is released, we'll be, I think.
In Colombia, I think.
We'll be on vacation. But so.
I'll be back. Will I be back?
Jasmine, you'll be back.
Oh, boo.
She'll be back holding down the fort. So, Jasmine, where are you going tomorrow, actually?
I'm going to Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
Oh, and then I'm going to Dominican Republic on Thursday. So this is, what's today? Saturday.
Yeah.
So Jasmine leaving Sunday, and I'm going to leave Thursday to Dominican Republic with my classmates.
Yay.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's my first time. I'm so
we'll
excited.
Have to go again.
We have to.
Yeah.
And Kathy, where are we going?
We're going to Colombia.
Yes. We'll be in Colombia in August. So we're so excited for that. We've been planning our butts off. We're going to like 4 different cities.
Yes.
Be out there for like 2 weeks.
We're doing everything and anything that we can. Like
eating it all.
Everything.
It's mainly eating because Kathy,
I bet.
Our little travel itinerary thing is just food.
Girl,
food.
Same. We have all the food picked out. Like I'm ready to eat like as soon as I land. As soon as I land, yeah.
Your boyfriend's a whole chef, so he's not gonna do mediocre food. So he needs the best.
He does the best.
We bougie.
For real. Okay, anyway, so let's get back on topic. So like Kathy said, we have so much going on. For me, I have school life.
And I have my secondaries, and oh my gosh, like, so the secondaries is like the second part of the med squab, and it's freaking ridiculous.
Okay. So honestly, this episode, we actually wanted to talk about, who our support system is, because like we said, we have so much going on, and there's a lot of times where things get very stressful, and we question like everything when things become overwhelming. But each of us, we do have a very strong support system that pushes us when, times get tough.
Yeah, when times get tough. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Let's go. Okay, so I have a big support system. I know sometimes people think that I do everything on my own, but no, there's like people behind the curtains helping me get through everything that I need to get done in one day. So when I started nursing school, especially I already knew it was going to be hard, but with a kid, it's another, like,
it's a whole nother level.
Yes, he has a little bit more of difficulty. And I learned that in order for me to hit everything that I needed to get done, I needed to have a schedule. So basically, like, by Monday, I already have my full week from Monday to Sunday planned out, because that's just how it works for me, and it has been working well. But in order for me to have the schedule, I have to talk to my partner, I have to talk to my parents, and then that way they know when I need like help. So, for example, because my kid is in daycare, so me and my partner, I get super lucky that he's like his own boss. So he gets to he works his schedule around my schedule, which is a huge help for me. because like right now my son is going to daycare, and the times that he's going to daycare, sometimes I have clinicals, and when I'm in clinical, I'm there like from 6:30 to 3 p.m. There's no way I could drop off my kid at 6:30 a.m. There's no daycare that opens that early. So when I go to clinicals, my partner doesn't go to work the whole day, because then he works all the way in Oakland and they commute. So now I have to add the commute to like my whole schedule. So he doesn't go to work, and then he drops off my kid, and then he picks him up, and then he takes care of him until like I come home. So he's like a great, like I feel like I got really lucky because he's always there for me. Not even just for for Tiago, even though he's his kid too, and he's not like he's doing me a favor, because it's like a team. Yeah. So he helps me too, but over the weekends, because he has to work, because some other days he doesn't. So to make up that money for that week, he has to work on Saturday and Fridays. So I have my parents, especially my dad and my mom, on Saturdays, because I come and do extra stuff, like, you know, like if I want a breather, because I've been going like
crazy everything
the whole week. They're like, don't worry, we'll take care of Tiago. Go do what you gotta do. And I know he's in good hands, you know? So that whenever I have a test, and I do, because especially over the summer, since I'm like literally studying every day because I have a test weekly.
There's stress because 5 weeks. Your semesters or classes are only 5 weeks, so it's stressful.
Yes. So sometimes, for example, on Monday, I have class from 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Then what do? Because I also work out, because it helps me with my mental health. So it's like a priority for me too. So let's say I go to class, I work out, then I get home, I have a study group, then I have to make dinner for me, for my fiance, and for Tiago.
That's a lot.
Then,
oh, I'm tired.
Then I have to like nighttime routine. So Carlos showers Tiago while I make his milk, and then I have to put him to sleep, and then I go out, we eat dinner, and then I start like doing homework. But then, you know, like if it was like, I want to say at the beginning of my nursing career, Carlos got COVID. And I remember I will always like mess with him, like, oh my God, you didn't do anything, blah, 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 blah. I will talk all this mess. And then he got COVID, and Tiago was only like 8 months. So he was isolated in one room, and me and Tiago were isolated in another room. And I was literally doing everything on my own.
Ooh.
I was so tired by the end of that week. I was like, oh my God, he actually does help.
Yeah, see, that's when you realize, when you don't have that support, that's when you realize
Did
how
you
much
tell
you
him?
actually had.
I did.
Okay, good. Okay.
And then I was like, thank you for everything that you do. Because sometimes you take things for
you
granted.
get blinded. You take things for granted, and you don't realize, like, dang, I actually had support.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know how like single moms do it. That's why sometimes when I have like friends that are single moms, I'm like, I check on them, like, are you okay? Like, do you need help? Like, do you need a babysitter?
They're warriors.
Do you need, because I did it just for 1 week, and I almost died because I was tired.
Yeah.
But, like, I always check on them because it's hard. So, yeah, like, my full support system is Carlos, my fiance, and my parents, and they're my rock, especially also when I'm going through like hard times, which is a lot of times, when I doubt myself and I think that I cannot do it anymore, that I'm tired of everything that's going on, I just want to throw the towel. He always comes to me, like, I don't know how he knows, but he just knows when I'm about to just
yeah, he probably feels, he feels your energy, probably.
Yeah. And then he's like I remember, when was it? Like, I was in one class, and I was just like, I was studying, and I wasn't getting the grades that I wanted. Mm-hmm. And then I would and then it's funny because every time I would have that test, I remember it was on a Monday, and he will take Tiago to school while I was taking the test in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then, because they give you the score right after you take the test. Okay. So I was like breakdown, like I was crying because it was frustrating. Like, it wasn't like I wasn't putting in the work, you know?
That's probably one of the more frustrating things, is when you're like literally busting your But
that's the
and
worst
it's
feeling.
not
That's the
not
worst.
showing. It's the worst feeling.
And that's when that imposter. I know we talk about imposter syndrome like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. It's like that's when imposter syndrome comes. It's like I knew I was dumb.
Hey, no,
I knew I couldn't do this.
For real, you're like, am I dumb?
Yeah, I must be dumb because I studied and it's
know.
not showing up.
And then like he just came home. I opened the door and he's like, "What happened?" I was like, "I took the test and I didn't." And then like so I went off on him, like just crying, not off on him like I'm mad, but just like
you releasing
burst.
all your
You
emotions.
burst,
And you know what, Kathy? Because Kathy, I always say this in the podcast. Like we're similar, like emotional wise in a way, because you know it's bad when she's crying. Like you know, like she already reached her breaking point. So you know it's like, dang, you felt a lot of emotions if you got to that point where it's like, dang, I have to like release and just cry and vent and everything. So
yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, it was. And then I was like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna go get a job in a bank. And I'm just, that's it. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired.
Over it.
I'm
Sick
done.
and tired.
Yeah,
Sick and tired.
I'm done. I was like, I'm not spending time with my kid. And I'm still doing hard. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I was just so frustrated. And then this man is just quiet. He's quiet. He's looking at me. And I'm just like, say something. Like,
Yeah, say something,
Yeah.
please. Say something.
and then he listened to me. And then he's like, look at me. And I was like, okay, what? And then he's like, you are not going to quit. There's no way in hell you're going to quit. You have
worked
not
this
gotten
hard,
this hard. I was like, I see you sleepless nights. I see you taking care of our kid and doing this and doing like millions of things that I can't even do myself. Like, I don't know how you do it because you do 3 things at a time when I'm doing 1 thing at a time.
Look at me. I'm crying. I'm crying because I understand. I understand how it feels. Like you're like, what am I doing wrong? Is this gonna happen or not? Like, and I felt that way too. Like where I've wanted to quit. I'm like, you know what? This has been like a 12-year journey or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, is it even worth this? Because that's another thing people don't realize. I feel like people who maybe don't choose to go to grad school or even go to college at all, they don't realize how emotionally draining
emotionally, physically, it takes
a lot out of you, and it makes you literally look at your I know we suffer from imposter syndrome, but it literally makes you question yourself, and that's the worst feeling ever. It's like, dang, am I even capable of doing this?
Yeah. So then he's like, you could do 3 things at a time and you do 3 things perfect. I do 1 thing at a time and I struggle. He's like, how the hell are you going to quit? Like, there's no way you're going to quit. You're not going to quit. And then I'm like, okay. And then so he's always pushing me. And then he's like, what can I do to help you? What do you want me? Yeah. So then that's it. I think that's the number 1 thing that like made me fall in love with him, because he's always just like, always there to support me and push me, even though, you know, he's playing with his money, because there's like 3 days a week that he doesn't go to work because I'm in clinicals and I can't divide myself in 2 because I'm far away.
Yeah.
So he's like, if you win, I win. Like, it's just, you know. So he's always just been my support system. When I'm sick, he's always take care of me. When Diego is sick, he takes care of him. And just we're a team. And I don't know, I feel like if I was a single mom, I probably would be able to do it, but I don't know how.
You'll make yourself do it, but it would be
harder than
way
it is
harder,
right now.
because it's already harder when you got a partner. So can you imagine?
Oh, for sure.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you tell your partner this often? Do you tell him like, hey, I'm actually appreciative of you? Don't be trying to act hard body like you tough over there.
No, really, because he
Are you gonna?
It's good. It's good to
he
tell
gets
your
in
person.
his head.
Then
Like, oh, you see, I'm important. Oh, see, you need, you know. But when I because at the beginning, like, I was really hard on him when I became a mom, because I was kind of like, I had like a little grudge on him, because he's like, I was like, man, you're already up and about. I'm over here suffering. My body looks
got it
hot,
easy.
man.
Well, that's because everything was changing in your life. Your
but
body,
not for him.
Your body,
everything. Yeah. And then it's like, usually 90% of the time, I know that's not the right percentage, but if something were to happen, the kid is always with the mom. Like, ends up the mom is like has to take on full responsibility of the kid usually. There's some great dads out there who know the kid may go with the dad, but it's like, dang, the woman has to do everything. Has to carry the baby, have to feed the baby, like breastfeed.
Yeah,
everything.
so I would like grudge him. Like, I'll be like, why are you complaining when I just pop a kid? My boobs hurt. I look a hot mess, and you complain because he's crying.
Yeah,
like, you know?
But there was a study that men also develop like pregnancy symptoms and postpartum depression and stuff. So never mind. I'm not, they feel a little bit of it.
Yeah, they do. And then also like when I was giving birth, and then he'll be like, it's okay. And I'm like, it's not okay. I am in pain. And then
I would literally be saying the same. And it's because of you.
Yeah. And then like after I gave birth, then everybody asking like, how do you feel when she was giving birth? Because basically like there was a point on my labor that my BP dropped. Like they had to like bring my BP up, and while I was pushing, I was throwing up and pushing. It was a struggle.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was a struggle. And he was like there holding my hand, holding the emesis bag while I was like throwing up and pushing. And then I would be like, damn, and you're just standing. Like, I'm just here trying to like push him out.
That would make me want to fight too. Like,
and I was hungry. And when I get hungry, I don't get just hungry. I get hangry.
I would probably look at them too. It's like, I'm right here suffering in this bed, pushing a whole 9 mil. How big does the cervix the hole have to get?
9 centimeters.
Oh, okay, 9 centimeters. I'm like, and you over there chilling. You got the nerves to look at me like I'm the problem?
Yeah.
Because
he was like, he was looking at everything, and the blood made him like queasy. And I'm like, don't you dare.
You got the nerve to be queasy.
Yeah. So I looked at him and I was like, if you pass
queasy.
Out, yeah. So I was like, if you pass out, I swear to God, you're going to get it when I'm done with this.
And I could see your face, honestly. Yeah. I could see your face right now.
She's not even pushing. She's over here like,
looking at him. You did this to me. Yeah. Take out the team effort that took to get you there. No, you did this to me.
She forgot it took two to tango.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then so after the birth, so I was so mad at him. But then one thing that like really resonated with me when somebody asked him like, how do you feel when she was just giving birth? He's like, I felt like the worst person ever because I couldn't do anything for her. Like I saw her suffer, and I wanted to take the pain away from her, and me taking it.
But he couldn't.
But I couldn't because I can physically do
you're like, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
So yeah, he was just like, because he every time he like sees me sick or whatever, he always tries to like, I don't want you to be in pain. Like I would take it for you, like. So then after that, I'm like, man, maybe I'm a little bit too hard on him.
Let me be a little nice.
Yeah.
Let me step into my soft girl era.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like sometimes I underappreciate him. I appreciate him, and then I come into like, like the realization sometimes, like, because I feel like sometimes us as women, like if you bring me flowers, then that's a gesture of that you cared about me, right? Mm-hmm. But there's some other gestures that you take for granted. For example, he got out of work one time, like around 7 p.m. We live all the way in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. I wanted like boiled seafood all the way in Freeman. And he has been working like 9 hours on his feet. And I was like, well, I want to eat boiled food. I want to eat boiled food. And I don't want to go all the way to Freeman. Like, I'm here at the house and blah, blah. He said, just order it. I go pick it up.
Oh, God. I see what you do for other people. I see what you're doing. I'm ready.
So he got out of work at 7 p.m., drove all the way to Freeman. From Freeman to Pittsburgh is like an hour or so. And he drove all the way over there.
Because even Oakland going to Fremont, it's a distance.
Right.
He love you.
And then that's because sometimes I give him like a hard time, like, oh, you don't bring me flowers. He's like, they die. And I'm like, well, you don't bring me chocolates. He's like, you're in a diet. And I'm like, but bring me something.
I do the same thing too. Yeah. I'm like, you don't do
like, the men be like, y'all never happy with anything.
Yeah. So then he tells me, he's like, I don't like telling you what I do for you, but hey, I bring you food, da-da-da. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you're right. And then, so,
that's where you have to put your, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my biggest support system has been him. And whenever I doubt myself, even as an undergrad, like, okay, this is a little bit TMI, but he'll be like in the bathroom doing his thing, like taking a dump.
I was like, what
I'm
is-
like,
I was
you have to actually say more because I don't want people to be thinking the other thing.
Yeah, I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
What thing is he doing?
So he was taking a dump, and like, let's say the door was closed, and I was sitting on the floor on the hallway having a full-on breakdown because of organic chemistry. And then,
Sorry, this is hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. It's school. It's this education stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is hilarious because you said break down organic chemistry and it made sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I was on the floor on my knees, and
puns.
I was like, I'm not gonna do it. This is it. I'm quitting school. He literally looked at his phone, looks at me. He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is it. I'm
Wait,
done."
Wait, the door was open? Oh.
Wait, so you're like, okay, this is how I imagine it. Like a kid. You know, you don't get any breaks now. I know Thiago's probably in the bathroom with you when you use the bathroom, but I
Yes.
can imagine he's on the toilet taking a dump and you laying on the floor crying, venting to him.
I'm like squatting, like I'm like this, squatting, and I'm just like looking at him like,
See, no privacy.
Hey, he's like, is this a good time to pull his shirt?
I know. Do I hold it? Do I clench my butt cheeks and just listen?
and he listens. He's like, Catherine, I'm like, babe, I'm having a breakdown. And he's like, but right now, and I'm like,
Yeah, this
yeah.
is the time I have.
And I was like, I'm gonna
Wow.
quit. This is it. I was like, I get good money because at the time, you know, like I was working a lot of jobs. So I was like, I get good money there. Like I'm done.
Like you're happy with what you're
Yeah.
making now. Yeah.
And then he's like, hell no. He's like, you have been going to school for 5 years. You know, you're putting all-nighters. And just for one class, you're going to quit? No, there's no way. And then I feel like he's my hype man.
Your voice of reason sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, again, talking about imposter syndrome.
Hold on. This episode is for you, Carlos.
I know.
I was gonna ask you. I'm like, you should tell him to listen to the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should.
I will.
Okay, imposter syndrome.
So again, my imposter syndrome will always be like, I'm dumb, I don't know English, everybody could hear it to my accent. Because everybody hears my accent, then I feel like people think I'm dumb. You know what I'm saying? And he always tells me, you're the smartest person that I know. Like, I know you could do it. So like he's always hyping me
He's that
up.
positive. He's that angel on your shoulder.
Yeah, like I remember in this rotation that I'm in right now, I'm in a hospital that I really want to be like when I become a nurse.
I'm so happy for you.
And
that
I
you
was
got
so
there. Yeah.
excited. And that day in the morning, he usually doesn't wake up because I have to be in clinicals at 6:30 and he's sleeping. And he woke up and he's like, you're going to do this. Like, it's going to be great. And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I will. I talk to you later. Bye.
You
So
know
this
what?
is like,
Carlos
This is really
and my
cute.
partner might be really good friends. 'Cause
Yeah.
they remind me. He reminds
They should
me of,
hang out.
of my boyfriend.
They should
I
actually hang
know.
out.
Yeah, I think we need to. But
Yeah.
yeah, so he's just like my biggest support system and he's my cheerleader. And then, yeah, he helps me when I'm down and when I'm like stressing and, you know, so he always gives me like sometimes, I remember one time the light went off in Pittsburgh. It's 100 degrees and I have to take
hot.
I have to take a test. And then he was like going everywhere like, okay, we need to make this happen. Like, I'll give you the hotspot, go inside the car, put the AC. But like, he was just like,
Trying to make it work.
he makes it
make
work
you comfortable.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what I love about him. And then, so I think I've been where I'm at because he's helped me so much. And my parents too. But my parents also have their own lives, you know, and they work. And then, but he helps me so much. And he helps me realize that sometimes I am not as dumb as I think. And I should just keep pushing because he reminds me of because he even tells me, he's like, I know you're not going into healthcare for the money. Like, I know you're going because that's something that you love. So he's like, just think about that. And then I'm like, okay,
Oh,
yes,
that
right.
honestly,
That is-
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So it just keeps
My heart is
me
just
like
fluttering.
on, you know, like my tunnel vision. It keeps me,
Focused,
thinking
yeah.
about my ending goal.
Like
So-
right now, like everything is there's going to be turbulence, but eventually you'll get there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's hard, but he pushes you, and I love that.
Yeah, and that's why he helps me remind me of it, you know, because sometimes when you're like going on like your hardest times, you just think about the bad.
Yeah, like why me? Like this keeps happening. Blah blah blah. Yeah,
Yeah, but then when you need that one person to remind you, don't worry, it's gonna get better.
Everything's gonna
Keep
be okay.
pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I like that.
No,
love
yeah,
this.
I love support systems. They're great.
It's needed.
They're
It's
needed.
needed.
Like, I wouldn't be here without them.
It's needed.
100%. I would not be here without my support system. I didn't do it. We did it. You know. My support system, like especially during undergrad, I commuted from Oakland to Sacramento. Sorry, to Santa Cruz. And the drive was really hard. I don't know if you've driven the 17. It's a very windy.
long.
It's a very windy road, and I would be up like at 5 a.m, and then I'd come home like at midnight. So I literally was not sleeping, studying, driving on the road at night. I don't have good vision to begin with. And my family was going through whatever my family was going through. Like, we lost our house and they moved, and then I didn't have anywhere to live. So I had friends who let me spend the night. I lived with them for months. I couch surfed for months because I was going to school. I couldn't afford like my own place. I wouldn't have made it without my friends.
Even the mental state that you're in, like you said, your family was going through a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
You're right. My mental state. I remember being on the couch on one of my friend's house and crying my butt off and being like, I can't do this. Like, I've been doing this for hours and I don't know like what was going on with the assignment, but either it just wasn't coming out the way I wanted, or something was wrong, like with, I don't know, maybe I was just being a perfectionist. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I cannot do this. This is not I'm crying on her couch. And she's like, pause, take a moment. You're overwhelmed. Like, go to Target, buy yourself something. I closed that laptop, went to Target, came back and finished that assignment. Like, just like little like motivational. Sometimes when my confidence is down, my therapist, my friends have been amazing. They've been my rocks. You, Linda, like I've always call you crying.
Jasmine and I back to back since you were kids. It's literally since you were kids.
Yeah. And my family, like even though we've had so much going on, I know that if I ever needed them, they're there for me. They're always supporting me, even though my journey has been really long. They know that it's not because a lack of effort. It's a lack of whatever. Sorry, not a lack of, but whatever the circumstances may have been during my life that may have put these bumps or humps in the road.
And that's another reason why so many people of color, we got to work a lot harder to get to where we were, or where we want to be, because it's not an easy path. For a lot of people, it's not an easy path. You got a lot of personal stuff going on, so you have to do double the work. And it's not, a lot of people is not going to go from high school straight into like college.
No, like I remember when I went to college, like I was the first person in my family to go to college. So I didn't even know how to do FAFSA.
You're figuring out yourself.
I didn't even know how to even apply. And I remember being like, oh, I guess I'm not going to college. I guess I'm going to community college. And to me, like, I felt bad because I was like, wow, like am I just going to go to community college and not even finish? Like,
you did it yourself.
I know.
Just imagine. It's bigger. I feel like it's bigger than you. I don't know if you realize this, but you're literally breaking the cycle for your kids.
Oh, of course.
And your kids, which is amazing.
Of course. Like back then I felt really bad, but I didn't realize like I didn't give myself the credit
that you deserve.
I was like, wow, I've finished FAFSA. I figured out the documents. I scheduled my classes. I scheduled it around work. I scheduled it around family, friends.
Even with the schooling stuff, you didn't have parents or family members to go to like, hey, I don't understand this chemistry assignment or this math assignment. Like, can you help me?
Oh, no.
You got to go to tutor and ask somebody else.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not. No.
Yeah.
We, at like literally fourth grade, not even. We stopped that.
Honestly, this episode is so good, but we are running out of time. So we need to cut here. And you guys, please tune in for part 2 to finish hearing Jasmine talk about her support system and everything. So,
and what kept me going.
And what kept her going. Because there's more to the story. So please stay tuned for part 2.
Great. Thank you guys for listening. Please email us at apotendose3@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us at apotendose3. Until next time, guys. Bye.
No. Don't be trying to cut off before I give my closing. They say the best for last. Follow your girl, Linda.
Girl, bye.
Okay, bye.
Linda, the F&P. Bye.